The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency says treated water being released from Japan's damaged Fukushima nuclear plant poses no threat to the environment. Rafael Grossi is visiting the country more than 6 months after the operator of the facility started pumping out the wastewater. He reaffirmed the IAEA's commitment to oversee the entire discharge process.
We want to be here until the last drop. And until that happens, every batch has to be thoroughly monitored, scanned, analyzed. And we have to make sure that the cleansing process, the treatment, is working in the way it should. And so you cannot have a guarantee that this is going to happen every time. So we have to be checking all the time.
And Mr. Grossi's trip comes more than 13 years after a major earthquake and tsunami resulted in the world's worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl in 1986. It is the first time he is visiting the region since the wastewater release began last August. And Mr. Grossi says the UN Nuclear Agency has been conducting independent and impartial evaluations of the wastewater discharge. And based on those findings, there is no scientific reason to impose restrictions on seafood products from the region. He was, of course, addressing concerns from neighboring countries such as China, which banned Japanese seafood imports following the release.
Countries may have their opinions, and we try respectfully to address those opinions and to provide every possible explanation that may be required. But the only international impartial monitoring can be carried out by the IAEA. And this is exactly what we are doing.
Let's now bring in CNA's Michiyo Ishida joining us live from Tokyo. Michiyo, the key to measuring radioactivity is the level of tritium. What did Mr. Grossi have to say about the tritium discharge from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant?
Yes, well, Director General Rafael Grossi confirmed the extremely low concentration of tritium. Now, he spoke at the Fukushima Council on Decommissioning Contaminated Water and Treated Water meeting on Wednesday morning. He addressed local authorities, fishermen, the Japanese government, and he explained he confirmed from IAEA's independent investigation. Now, Tokyo Electric Power Company and the Japanese government monitor tritium level in seawater of Fukushima. But rather than confirming their report, the IAEA decided to investigate with its own office, laboratory, and operation at the Fukushima nuclear plant. Now, this way, the finding, Mr. Grossi said, will be an independent, impartial evaluation of what's been happening since the water discharge in August. So far, 5% of water has been disposed from the nuclear plant. Mr. Grossi noted this is going to be a long process, but the IAEA will be present throughout and after the release of what he called controlled water. Now, this as water will continue to accumulate in the plant to cool the fuel rods.
Mr. Grossi also mentioning that the IAEA is working with China to ensure the safety of the wastewater release. What's China's role?
Well, China stopped importing not only Fukushima marine products, but all fish from Japan, even before the discharge of treated water began in August last year. Its biggest Japanese seafood import was from Hokkaido, northern Japan, mainly scallops and sea cucumbers, and this hurt the local industry. Now, the Japanese government has been holding campaigns to encourage consumption domestically and seek other countries to start importing these products. Mr. Grossi said that there is no scientific reason to impose restrictions on Japanese seafood produce. He noted there was a political dimension to the stance of neighboring countries, and criticism was also directed to the IAEA. Mr. Kishida, the Japanese Prime Minister, and Mr. Grossi, they're expected to meet on Thursday, and this issue will probably be discussed.
All right, Michiyo Ishida reporting there from Tokyo on those ongoing talks between the IAEA and China, among other things.